It's been signed, sealed, and delivered. Students can now apply for loans for their tuition fee loans, to go to school and pay back 2 years after the NYC service. But Asuu has something to say to Tinubu about the signing of a student loan bill into law. We'll go into that in a bit. First of all, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, give this video a massive thumbs up, leave your opinions in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. Dead on arrival, Asuu reacts as Tinubu signs student loan bill into law. The chairperson of the Federal University of Technology, MENA, chapter of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Asuu, Professor Gbolahan Bolari, has condemned the student loan bill signed into law on Monday by President Bola Tinubu. The academic Don was of the opinion that the law is not feasible as the peculiarities of Nigeria were not considered before signing the bill into law. According to him, the problem with Nigeria and such initiatives is that the leadership wants to replicate what they see in some other countries without giving any consideration to what is obtainable in Nigeria. He lamented that it may be difficult for students who obtain the loan to pay due to the high unemployment rate among graduates as well as the abysmal minimum wage. Professor Bolari reveals that ASU stood against the bill from the beginning because the scheme is not feasible, nor sustainable, and is therefore dead on arrival. He said, and I quote, "The problem in Nigeria is that we copy policies from other countries and want to replicate them in our country without considering the situation here. Where are the jobs in Nigeria? There are graduates from over 20 years ago who are still jobless. Now, the thing about this scheme is that as you repay, another person gets access to the loan. Now that the scheme will provide 1 million naira per year, suppose a student comes to Mina and stays for 5 years, that means you will receive 5 million naira. What is the guarantee that you will get a job to pay it back? As of today, the minimum wage is 30,000 naira. Is it feasible? From the beginning, ASU fought against it because of these issues. There are no two ways about it. This scheme is not going to be sustainable. You can see universities hiking fees. More universities will do this because governing councils of schools are looking for ways to fund schools. Before you know it, the level of enrollment in public universities will be reduced. Newsroom Nigeria reports the bill signed by President Tinubu on Monday was passed by the National Assembly in November 2022, was sponsored by the immediate past Speaker of the House of Representatives and the new Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. The legislation provides for the establishment of the Nigerian Education Bank, which will have the power to administer, supervise, coordinate, and monitor the management of student loans in the country. Based on the provisions of the legislation, the bank is expected to receive applications for student loans through higher educations on behalf of the applicant and screen them. You guys, what do you think about this? Like the member of ASU said from Mina, she's saying that it's not going to work These days, that one, that one. Me, I'm like, my opinion, no, in a nutshell, is that looking at it, you might think it is not going to work. But as soon as these policies start, you will be surprised and shocked that it is going to work. But the only problem I have with, the signing of this law is that in Nigeria, it takes time for these things to actually work. Are banks going to actually, follow through by actually giving out these loans? That is what I'm even worried about. Not that people might find it difficult to pay back. In this country, of course, there are no jobs. But if you are not lazy and you really want to work, you will find work. We've had graduates. These days, graduates are no longer even waiting to get jobs before they start working. Graduates are the ones into tailoring business now. You can no longer even call them tailors. They are called fashion designers. And the charges that the way they bill clients now, the way they bill people just to sew simple dresses, simple clothes, you'll be surprised. So the fact that you are thinking, okay, people might not find job, okay, so they should not go to school. For people that cannot afford to pay tuition fees, okay, the alternative is that they should not go to school because in the next like 5 years they are not sure they are going to get money to pay back. I don't think that kind of reasoning should be should be considered. I do not think so, because you cannot say because you are not sure of the future, you are not sure of what is going to happen after going to school. Because of that, you then draw yourself back from doing what you're supposed to do. Because you can we have a lot of people, there are millions of Nigerians who want to go to school, who would have gone to school, but they cannot afford it. They can't. And what are those people supposed to do? Are they supposed to fold their hands and just become illiterate because they cannot afford to pay their tuition fee? I feel this is a very good opportunity that can be, utilized by a lot of, Nigerians who never even thought, or who had been thinking that how are they going to be able to finance themselves? How are they going to be able to, pay tuition fees in their institution? I think, this is a way of, bridging the gap. This is a way of bridging the gap, from lower class families, average families, and you never can tell. These people that cannot afford tuition fee today might finish university and get very good jobs, and they will be able to, bring up their family, or you know bring their family away from poverty. You understand what I'm saying? You all, what are your thoughts? Let me have them in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.